doing some cardio on my elliptical bike before I call it a day. Waiting a few minutes for people to get in here. Got some stuff I want to talk about. My friend Jigsaw, he likes to do his stuff during his drive-through trips. Yo, what's up, Shane? Got to do the gains check. Not as good as it once was. But we're trying to keep the old weight off, so we're doing our cardio while we keep our gains. Just in case the NFL calls me up, like they did Phillip Rivers. And who's basically the same age as me. So if the old man can come back after setting 5 years, I got to stay ready. Just in case, man. Yeah, check it out. Let's see. You can't see. Well, there's my extra couch. Got the old elliptical working. Gotta stay hydrated. Oh well. Oh yeah. Your connector. Yep. Thanks for checking in. You know, one thing on the DRZs that always throws people like, man, my carburetor's messing up on me, or my, it's running bad. You know, some people go to the school of thought of thinking, oh man, my stator's jacked up. Or some other people are hung up on the carburetor and it's their stator or something in between, and like your case, the connector. So yeah, makes sense to me. But what I wanted to talk about, yeah, I know it. Weird carb. Yeah, you should have got rid of it, Shane. Shane is a Tenere 6-gear mod guy. If I come down there, I'll bring one for you to ride. It's all right, Shane. I still love you. But yep. Yeah, you just don't want to overdo the dielectric grease. Crosshatch. Yeah, I've seen some people that put too much on there and they don't have enough connection. I got a little bit of an echo in here. I don't have anything on my walls. I'm down here in Dewey's Garage headquarters basement and gym. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about is, you know, in the wintertime, fighting off the wintertime blues. It's not technically winter for us here. I got some people that to the island. Yeah, it'd be a good time to do it. It'd be a good time to be down on the island, I think. But anyway, man, what we're doing is trying to keep the cardio up, trying to keep the weight off a little bit. It's not as big of a deal when you're younger. We gotta keep the blood moving. And for me, it gives me some focus. I prefer to do this during the day, but you know, if you're going to be riding, you got to stay in riding shape. You know, so if you got a stationary bicycle, or you know, my friend down in Texas, pretty deep in Texas, he's been getting into mountain bike stuff. But still, it's a good way to get some workout and cardio. But I want to talk about, I got a video uploading right now. And I'm sorry for the no frills of it. I'm not showing the actual doing of everything. I'm just describing. I'm describing what it is that I'm doing. I show the after effects of that on the Banshee engine. I've never done one of those. I've done several DRZ engines. I know them well. So in some of those cases where I show the full rundown like I did on Link's Garage, it's not as big of a deal for me to, because I know it inside and out. Let me see here. I've got heated gear. Oh, that's right. I remember you saying you were a leg down. Or would that be a leg up? If the leg went to heaven, that means it'd be a leg up. Prove me wrong. But anyway, as I'm looking at the comments here. Yeah, but yeah, it's good. It's important to stay warm. A big thing for me is staying warm. And it's only certain trips. I can go about 8 or 10 miles and about to freezing. And usually, if you guys know my channel, I go from the area of my house to the gym and back. And usually when I'm on my way back this time of year, it's a colder trip and I'm warmed up. That's right, thumb break, yeah. But my key to success with that is I've got a waterproof overshell. Okay, that waterproof thing is just a jacket. I got good gloves. I've used a heated glove system, and that's also waterproof. So that air, if it can't get through what it is you're wearing while you're riding, you're going to have some good results because the air is not going to penetrate and get you cold. And I wear normal warm-up pants. I probably should wear riding pants, but busy life takes a lot of time. It's not going to happen. So I just wear some windbreaker pants over the top of my stuff. When I'm doing wheelies, that's a slidey situation, so you got to be careful. But what I want to talk about is the Banshee engine. People that watch this channel, I'd encourage you to take a look at it. I'm pretty heavily invested in this build, and it's going to be something really special. And with how much power it's going to produce for the weight of even me with my massive gains and the weight of the bike, it's making a lot of power. Lung disease. Yeah, I bet that's difficult. Yeah, keep that shock of the cold air from coming in. You cover your mouth. Lung disease. Crosshatch, would you say what that lung disease is that you have? You got COPD, or what would that be? Emphysema. There's one of them where a lot of people, the only way to really cure it is a lung transplant. Yeah, well, I'm really lucky to have this thing. And again, you're going to see some things about it. I probably shouldn't say anything, but I took the top end off today. I removed the engine yesterday. That's posted. And I kind of did some observations. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're a very experienced person. I think I remember you saying some things about that. I wish there was, I'm sure you're on a lot of anti-inflammatories and steroids and stuff to keep that down. But Banshee-wise, I noticed a lot of pitting on the domes of the cylinder head, and I didn't notice that on the pistons. So something let loose at some point in this thing's history. It's looking like foreign matter. Again, the video, you'll be able to check it out tomorrow. It'll be about 11 or noon my time central that I'll let it go. So what I want to do is say, we're going to find some more gremlins in this engine, and it makes me happy that we're going to replace the cylinder head, we're going to replace the cylinders, we're going to replace the crankshaft and all the bearings and the cases. All right, it wasn't the paint. That's what you took off. Yeah, you have like some lead and some asbestos and all that stuff that when you were taking it off. How much you paying for the Banshee over there? Yeah, well, I couldn't tell you. I saw one with a complete four-wheeler listed for about $5,000, and that's just up the road from me. There's a guy that's I probably need to have a conversation with in Hayesville, just about 5 to 10 miles away from me. He's an expert in them, and he could probably give me a lot of pointers. But I'm trying to figure this thing out on my own. But I've got cylinder, crankshaft, bearings, and a head. So this damage that I'm seeing, I'm going to be able to mitigate. What I'm excited about is, versus that of a dirt bike, that you split the cases like this is going to split vertically. I mean horizontally instead of vertically. And so it's something to add to my skill set. I'm going to make some mistakes probably, but it's going to be it's going to be much more powerful than a stock one. I'm talking about a big bore cylinders that are ported. We're talking about a stroker crankshaft, and it's going to be very, very strong. Now this is a pump gas runner, and I'm going to jet this to be favoring on the side of oil mixture. And I have a certain amount of oil because we're going to be running this on the road course and hurting sport bike feelings. I might even make a few runs at the go-kart track. If I like it, I might put some magic tires on it and hurt everybody's feelings everywhere all of the time. Now, with that in mind, on the long end of this, we're talking about a potential of 95 horsepower. On the short end, probably about 85, especially if I go a little bit more favorable on the oil side. So we're going to leave some meat on the bone. I don't think I'm going to be able to handle all of it anyway. Okay. Hope they got. Yeah, I hope they got one too. Yeah. Wow, 840. That sounds like the DR 650 has a 781 or something. Or do they have one that goes that big on the 800s? That's kind of crazy. But it seems like they like going out there. They don't have a water jacket on their cylinder and head. That'd be a huge one. But what I'm looking at is, if you guys look up a TE, a 2012 TE 250, it's a Husqvarna. That's what this engine is going in. It's what it came out of. And it run like doo-doo. And you look back, I think it was like September when I took it for a ride. It ran like crap. Plus, when I was about a quarter mile away from my house, the clutch cable snapped on me. So we're going to have to do some things. The shifting is atrocious. I don't think they, and if you're a Banshee person, you probably already know about this. They have a shift star on them. And you either modify them or you buy a modified one. And that way it's the ease of shifting. I don't think that's going to ease the clutch operation, but we're going to try to address that too. We've got a fresh clutch cable. We've got a clutch pack. Link sent me with a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. Is that Logan? I can't see very good, but hello. Oh, that one guy. Yeah, I mean, you gotta check in with us and let us know how that kickstart situation improves as time goes along. Hello, Logan, how you doing? My night, it's going good. We're finishing off. Would have liked to have spent more time in the garage doing like a part 3, but part 3 is gonna have to wait until tomorrow evening. We're doing some cardio here, and I took my mother to see some Christmas lights after I got the top end taken off of the Banshee, and that video is dropping tomorrow. That's redundant for the people that were here before. Sorry about that, people that were here before. And I'm just getting some cardio because we're trying to keep the weight down. I'm going to start tearing into the stator side tomorrow. Get the stator off. Get the flywheel off. Then we'll go to the clutch side. Start taking the clutch components off, and then we'll be in preparation for splitting the cases on the Banshee Supermoto. I think it's going to be pretty unreal. I just hope that I can adjust the power delivery on that so it's not just absolutely unusable and I can't feather it. That's where we'll have to play maybe with a throttle tamer of sorts. Other than this engine, there are a few other components that I'm curious about. We got to get the 101 things first. I've got some okay-ish tires that are on it. The front brake, it's a small brake. It's a small rotor. The small rotor is going to be an issue if I'm going to be hitting the track with it. So I'm going to have to. I'm going to try to source. These are KYB forks on here, so hopefully I can get an adapter for the 320 rotor. Hopefully I don't have to get too inventive with it. Perhaps even Warp 9 has something where I can do like a stage 1 just using the factory. It's a Brembo caliper. So hopefully I can get some sort of setup like that and a decent rotor. And the other thing is, once I get to ride this thing and it not run like absolute dog crap, I'm going to be able to evaluate the suspension. This has got different weights of everything, and I'm big. Right now I'm about 230, which is a little much. I'd like to be about 220, and this is in pounds. Obviously, if it was kilograms, I'd do a lot larger. But we'd still have the same goal. I'm going to try to be a little bit less. But I have to go back and refresh my memory. I'm estimating that we're somewhere between 250 and 270 pounds on the bike itself. Oh, you got a YZ150. Oh, so you got a 125 bored out. 2-stroke. How you riding your 2-stroke? I'll be posting some pics. Hey, make sure and share that post just to me personally on Insta, okay? Make sure and share that. Crosshatch. Oh, okay. Make sure and share that. All right, so Logan, the YZ150, tell me about it. I'm going to be on here for another 10 minutes or so. Tell me about this YZ150. When did you get it and what all have you done to it? What's this? And how are you riding it? Something that I think would be really interesting would be one of my friends, he's a wheelie guy, or he's trying to be. He's got a CRF 150, and he's kind of got it set up, I think, more for like mini moto. And I would like to have, I want all the bikes ever. I want all the bikes ever. And I'd like to have one of those with sitting on some 10s or some 12s and run like the same tires. I think they're on 12-inch, I'm not mistaken, that the Ovale run those tires, those slicks. And, you know, the ride height and the power to weight would be crazy. Problem with it is that you're talking about a 4-stroke and it's high strung. Engine maintenance is everything. I'm helping my buddy walk through his valve adjustment. I got it for Christmas. Well, heck yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I like the riding down dirt roads, learn to wheelie. Yeah, well, I would keep your ambitions low with the 150, and the reason why I say that is that's really hard, especially if you're, how do I want to say this? You just don't want to keep it wide open all the time. It won't like it. Now, there's a 125X that's got 6-speed. That might have a chance, but still 125, so she's got to be wound up. But yeah, my YZ250 probably needs a little bit of love, and it's on Supermotos if you're familiar with this channel. But ride it as a dirt bike. It's a great dirt bike, and especially as it's bored out, you got a little bit more grunt to it. If you don't know it yet, make sure and spend your time. Did you watch my Grom videos? Make sure and work that rear brake. Just setting in the garage, in the shop, wherever. Touch that rear brake, have your left foot down, and move it back and forward. Be your project. Be your obsession. If you think you've got it, you don't have it, and do it some more. Touch that rear brake and roll back and forth and feel that engagement point. Because you don't want to hit rear brake like all you have, especially on a 125, 150, really hard, because it'll kill it. Even as it's approaching its power band, it'll kill it. Or touch that rear brake, know it, and it needs to be able to fire anytime. All this baloney of people, you say, oh, cover the rear brake, cover the rear brake. Then what? Cover the rear brake, what? What are you going to accomplish covering the rear brake? Touch it, use it, when you go to clutch up, once you've done a crap ton, and I'm talking a crap ton of attempts in your garage, just sitting there, touching that rear brake, feeling its engagement point over and over and over again, then yeah, make a few attempts at clutching up. But get a little cruising speed. Probably going to be second gear. I don't think it'd be first gear in these things. But it helps having a fancy clutch lever for this, like an RSC. Sorry, they just went through on their darn near half price sale. I got one. But get your cruising speed, pull in the clutch, bump the rear brake, give it some gas, dump the clutch, and be ready and engage that rear brake and bring that front end back down, because it's going to come up quickly, especially if you're a smaller person. You don't really want to be chasing it with power. Just get it up, get it up, get it up, get used to. It's going to be a rush. It's going to be the best thing that ever happened to you. And start developing it. You know, mind your tire pressure. Make sure your bike's in good operation. Check your brake fluid. Make sure you're not cooking your brake pads. Keep things maintenance up, and you should be okay. But, you know, guys, wear your gear, wear your gear, wear your gear, wear your gear, and wear your gear. I want to see some wheelies. I want to do some wheelies. But it's like 20 degrees today, so that ain't happening. Tell me some more about this YZ. Where'd you get it for Christmas last year? Sam's Water is not a sponsor of this channel. Safety first, guys. But yep. Before I really knew how to wheelie, I was doing some really high speed wheelies, even on my 99 YZ 400F back here behind my house on the dirt roads. I cranked it up and didn't know what the heck I was doing and looped her out. And this is on a gravel, like a driveway rock gravel. And the street ate chunks. I was wearing my helmet, broke my helmet. Wearing gloves, it ate my gloves. I was wearing a jersey, it ate my jersey and chewed up some of my feet. Yeah, it's actually, I am a Spaniard. I identify as one even though I have no heritage. I don't know, is that a compliment or is that like a... I have to think about that. We'll have to meditate on that one. General Duiondo. But, yep. And I looped out the YZ250 when it was still on dirt wheels and it was in fifth gear and it just came over and I hurt my tailbone, something fierce. So fast is not good. Fast is easy until it isn't, and crashing's easy. Hey, yeah, doing internet things. I appreciate you jumping in. You know, we're just doing a little cardio, talking about the Banshee Supermoto build. I'm talking about wheelies with a young lad over here on his YZ150 that I still want to hear about this, it being a 150 and not a 125. But yeah. Speaking of Spanish, you know, rather than Spanish football, American football. There's a guy my age, I started this off with this topic. A guy named Philip Rivers played an NFL football game at 44 years old after sitting on the couch for 5 years. I think he threw the ball around. I think he stayed in somewhat shape, but nothing like the good old days, I'm sure. Either way, you gotta stay ready. You gotta stay in shape. We're gonna be riding. That way you can go out there and get it. When it's time to ride trails, when it's time to ride Supermoto track, when it's time to ride road course, when it's time to ride going down the road. Yeah, DRZ, it's a single cylinder 4-stroke. Yeah, it's now OEM. They're a 398 cc. Now, the new version is fuel injected, but from 2000 through 2024 or 2024, they're carbureted with a CV carb. So it has like a throttle body, and then based upon demand, the slide comes up. But crazy people like me put the off-road model carb on it. Some people that want an entry level, they put the old slant body FCR 39, or the more vertical, newer version, the MX FCR 39 MX. Those are a pumper carb. They squirt a jet of fuel every time you actuate the throttle, and it's just the slide opens with the throttle directly, not by demand. They did. They upgraded it in the 2025. In my opinion, they did some good things for the style of it as well. They got a slipper clutch on it, that's pretty cool. They've got a bunch of nannies on it though, power modes. I think it's power modes, but ABS, traction control, stupid crap like that. And they kind of make it a little bit difficult for you to turn it off. But Jake did some videos on that, so Jake the Garden Snake did. And he crashed my YZ400F at the go-kart track last month. That's on his video, the last one he made public. Yeah, the price went up horrendously. Their MSRP is, I think it's over $9,000. Ain't no way I pay $9,000. Mainly because I've got 3 of them in my garage that are as good as those. But they're good for me because they were budgets. I don't think, I didn't pay, maybe, I'm over the amount. I could buy one with the aftermarket parts all together that I put on it. But quite realistically, I've got 3 bikes for the price of 1.5 or so. Well, and if we look at when the DRZ came out and what the cost of living was then versus the price that they were and what they've really changed it to, it's not really relative. Everything's gone up. I mean, there was a time when you can get a leader bike, super bike, or a leader bike for 10 grand or less. But 10 grand isn't 10 grand anymore. It's more like 30 grand. But yep, we're at 35 minutes on this live. We're gonna wrap it up. Make sure and comment on the video, or if you don't have me on Instagram, you can send me a message on there. If you have any questions, you want to comment, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.